Hi, my name is Angelo Micheli, and for my expert topic selection, I chose the agriculture industry and its dependency on the fossil fuel industry. In order to do this, I had to break both industries up and talk about them separately and then how they correlate to each other. So beginning with the fossil fuel industry, it is a highly capital intensive industry, and most times the capital is lost. It's not getting cheaper to build oil wells, and if anything, it is getting harder to find the oil. And because of this, many tests must be done. Seismographs are usually done to measure the thickness of the crust and whether there's potential for oil. And then a well must be set up, a pump must be set up, and not until you're actually drilling into the crust do you find out whether there is or is not oil. And oftentimes there's not oil. This is definitely less than ideal. And because of this, all the tens of millions of dollars spent just goes down the drain. And that just makes it even more expensive to build another well and look for more oil. Another thing I learned is that because of global warming, the global gross domestic product drops 3.3% every year, which translates to $2.9 trillion every year. And in the United States, it's $8 billion a day lost on global warming. Another thing I learned is that the market, which is supposed to decide the best inventions, and the invisible hand that is supposed to guide the free market, guided it to coal, which had no other competitors, and fossil fuels, which were the only way to power a car, which vastly outnumbered any other horse and buggy or any other way of transportation. And within a matter of 20 years, most families had at least one passenger car. And that's only in the past 100 years. Since then, the fossil fuel industry has put their hands in many politicians' pockets in order to get them to look the other way. And this is all stuff that you can learn, but digging deeper, I found out just how bad it was. When it comes to the agriculture industry, the big agriculture model of using pesticides that are based on fossil fuels, fertilizers that are based on fossil fuels, and transporting vast amounts of food, insane distances, is not going to work. And it is all contingent on the fossil fuel industry. So 17% of all the fossil fuels in the United States are used by the food industry. And in my paper, I mentioned that most fresh produce travels 1,500 miles, not so much in California, but in any other part of the country. That is true. And this needs to change. The way that it should be looked at is 17% of the fossil fuel industry that can be taken away from it instead of building more up into it. So once it is changed, transporting locally and not wearing down our highways, and switching out fertilizers for compost and manure from that farm, and rotating crops to where you don't need pesticides. These are the solutions that I see, is basing big ag on sustainable farming, which is at a smaller level. And that's everything I learned. Thank you.